Understandably, I've had a number of concerns and queries which have come from constituents about a vote that took place last week on the European Withdrawal Bill, and that somehow my vote in rejecting an amendment meant that I don't believe that animals are sentient beings or that they can feel pain. Well, that's just plain wrong, and what we've seen has been simply fake news. The vote actually last week was about how we maintain our animal welfare standards when we do leave the European Union. And I'm absolutely delighted. I have a letter here from the Secretary of State for the Environment, which could not be clearer, that as ministers explained in the House of Commons just last week, that this government's policies on animal welfare are driven by our recognition that animals are indeed sentient beings, and we are acting energetically to reduce the risk of harm to animals, whether on farms or in the wild. Now, that could not be clearer. At the moment, being in the EU, it actually prevents us from taking even more aggressive action against puppy farms, for example. Once we leave, we can strengthen those laws, and I'd love to see that. So I'm just posting this video to clarify the facts and to get past the fake news, to show you that I do believe animals are sentient beings. I believe they feel pain. I am an animal lover. I've got Poppy here with me, who I love absolutely to bits, and would never want to see her feel any pain. And I just want to give my constituents that reassurance, but obviously happy to receive any more queries and questions that you have at any time.
When I was at the constituency the other day, one of the issues that came up from voters when I was chatting to them was the bedroom tax. How many people in Aberdeen are going to lose out as a result of that?
Well, first of all, there's no such thing as a bedroom tax. There's an under-occupancy charge.
Well, how many people are going to lose out as a result of that charge?
Well, also, there's people in Aberdeen, we don't know the exact figures of those who could be affected. But
you're an Aberdeen councillor. How many people who are tenants in Aberdeen Council are going to lose out?
The council officers will tell you themselves. At the moment, it's because
do you know what the figure is?
I don't know the exact figure. Neither do the council officers at the moment as to what the exact implications, impact of the bedroom tax is going to be.
Do you know how many one-bedroom flats are not occupied in Aberdeen City at the moment?
We've got well. There's obviously voids, and there's a number of voids in the city. I don't know the exact figure.
So you don't know how many people are affected, you don't know how many one-bedroom flats there are, but we can say that there will be people who will be worse off as a result of this.
No, there's going to be opportunities, Bernard, and there's going to be challenges. There's going to be opportunities, first of all, with the welfare reform.
Will there be anybody as a result of this who will be worse off?
No, I think the welfare reforms have come in for a purpose. They've come in because what was before, Bernard, was completely unsustainable.
Are you seriously suggesting to me that nobody in Aberdeen will be worse off as a result of not one person?
This is what you've got to understand, but Aberdeen is a very different city to Glasgow, Edinburgh and the rest of Scotland, and that's something that I don't think Labour nor the SNP have ever fully appreciated.
Are you saying as a matter of fact, nobody in Aberdeen is worse off? Not a single person?
There's going to be,
are you saying that as a fact?
Yeah, and with every change there's going to be people who lose out, there's going to be people who benefit.
What kind of hardship will there be?
Well, I said there's going to be people who are going to lose out, there's going to be people who benefit from this, and don't detract from that.
How many will lose out?
The reason that more people will benefit from this, Bernard, more people are going to be better off under the welfare reforms that we propose. There's going to be people who are going to actually benefit from getting into work and knowing that they can actually earn more and have a better life for themselves and their families by being encouraged into work. So that's the benefits, Bernard. That's what we need to be talking about, because there's more people in Aberdeen that are going to benefit from this than lose out. There are so many more opportunities than there are challenges, and we need to embrace them and go forward with them. So I think what the UK government's done is great, and we're going to continue in terms of promoting that message here in the city, because...
Now, on the day that we leave the EU in March 2019, powers will be returned to the UK, and the Scottish Parliament will become more powerful than it already is. No, thank you. Regaining powers over agriculture, environment and transport, for example. Yet we have seen quite an astonishing level of hypocrisy from the benches opposite today. Where was the SNP's belief in sovereignty when over the last 40 years laws were imposed on the people of Scotland by the EU without debate in this place, or in the last 20 years without debate in Holyrood? I will give way to the honourable member.
Very much. I'm very grateful to him for giving way and stopping him in his flow. Has he ever heard of the European Parliament?
I am aware of the European Parliament, which cannot reject the legislation that is imposed on them by unelected commissioners. This is about democracy, re-establishing democracy. In the EU, it has got nothing to do with democracy. It's a deficit in terms of democracy. We're taking that back. You should celebrate that fact.
Ross Thompson!
Can my honourable friend update the House on the benefits of the North East of Scotland brought about by the UK Government's Aberdeen City Region deal? And does he share my concern that the dither and the delay of the SNP Government are improving the rail journey times between Aberdeen and the Central Belt, which may take up to the 2020s? We need urgency from the Scottish Government.
Mr Speaker, can I welcome my honourable friend to his place? And of course, he, as a noted councillor in Aberdeen, played a significant role in bringing together that Aberdeen City Region deal, which has been such a boost to the North East of Scotland. I'm very disappointed to hear what he says about the actions of the SNP government, but sadly not surprised.